All right, let's stay with that story. The hostage drama at Nyanga Junction on the Cape Flats appears to be coming to an end. 9 workers were held hostage. They were working inside a store. They were released earlier this evening following a botched armed robbery this morning. So it was a very long day for them, and a security guard responding to the alarm was shot in the arm and the leg. For the latest, we now cross live to our reporter on the scene, Mariska. Mariska, what's the latest?
As with anything that's as dramatic as this, every half an hour there's new information that comes through. And just 15 minutes ago, we had new information from the police telling us that indeed it was 10 workers that was released from the hostage drama. An 11th person was brought out and he was injured, and that person is one of the suspects that is currently in hospital under guard. He was treated at the scene and taken away. Of course, earlier in the day, as you said earlier, one of the armed response team unit members was shot in the arm and leg, and we understand from the police, sadly, that he's currently fighting for his life in hospital. But those 10 workers, certainly when they arrived this morning, nothing like this entered their minds, I'm sure, and for them it was a horrific day that lasted nearly 12 hours when they were held hostage by armed robbers. The robbers, of course, storming the building just before 7 this morning. We're not sure whether they were there to rob the SASA grant event going on. Of course, this is SASA payday today, or whether they were here to rob the retail store. We're unsure, but we do know that they were there to rob, and that robbery quickly turned into a hostage situation when that response unit responded to the distress call, and they contacted the police, and shortly after the whole entire building was surrounded. But police telling us, unfortunately, that armed security response guard fighting for his life in hospital, a suspect injured, treated on the scene, taken to hospital. He's under police guard, and 10 hostages, 10 people working for the retail store was held hostage for nearly 12 hours, and they have all been freed.
Mariska, do we have any confirmation that all the hostages have been freed, that nobody else is being held? And where are the remaining armed robbers? You said one suspect is under guard right now.
From what we understand from the police, the 10 people that were brought out just after 6 this evening, all employees of the retail store, they were the only hostages in the building left. They were, of course, freed. Earlier in the day, we saw 3 people coming out, also employees of the retail store. They were brought out by heavily armed police officers and also special forces unit members. So in total, it was 13 people that was brought out of the building that were employees of the retail store. Now, we understand that the police is still combing the area and indeed the retail store. It's a very large area. It looks more like a warehouse, so it's a very big area, and they are still combing the area to make double sure that there are no more suspects inside, and if there are suspects inside, of course they will be apprehended. But at this stage we have only confirmation of one suspect. He was injured, and that suspect is under police guard in hospital.
So if he was not working alone, they've only found one. Presumably some of the others could have gotten away. Is that the situation?
Well, we heard from community members earlier in the morning. Of course, you'll hear a lot of talk, you'll hear a lot of rumors. With things like this, people are very excitable. And the street right next to the warehouse where we're standing, or the retail store where we're standing behind me, was filled with people from the local community, it being a public holiday. And people were talking among themselves, and here and there you could hear people saying that 2 of the alleged suspects got away, but none of that has been confirmed to us by the police. That's only rumor going around, and people on the street talking, saying that somebody got away. But certainly it is quite possible that there was more than one suspect inside. It was a total of 10 people being held hostage, so we're unsure if one person alone was working and keeping those people hostage, or if there was more than one person trying to rob the store.
All right, and they could still be hiding. You said that the area is still cordoned off. So this was a shopping centre. Presumably it was closed and hasn't opened since, Mariska.
No, not at all. And of course, this is also a SASSA pay point. So many people this morning arriving hoping to get their SASSA grants. Of course, that's a lifeline for tens of thousands of people that live in this area, certainly. They couldn't get their SASSA money. Of course, the store was closed the entire day, so nobody could get access to it. The store was closed the whole day, and it was watched feverishly by the entire community. We even saw some of the retail workers that left the building earlier. They did not want to speak to us on camera. They did not want to tell us what exactly happened. They just said that they were not involved in the hostage taking. They were not close to the incident itself, but they stayed the whole day to watch to see if their colleagues would come out. And I am happy to say that the 10 hostages that were freed all walked out of the building. It didn't seem from the distance where we were standing, we were about 500 meters from them, that any of them were injured. They were all walking out of the building. 10 of them freed by the special operation that took place here today.
Thank you very much for your reporting, Mariska Botha. So what we know, a security guard wounded and fighting for his life in hospital. She said one suspect under police guard as well, and all the hostages freed from that area, that shopping centre on the Cape Flats.